There lived a man named Austin in a village. He was a leader of a village. People in that village respected him very much. As he was the leader of the village, people would come to him if they had wanted to solve any disagreement. He would also give a correct solution for their argument and make them content. He had two sons. The elder was Christ and the younger one was Kevin. Austin used to teach them that one can achieve success with the help of honesty, hard work, and wisdom. Kevin used to spend most of his time working along with his father. Hence, even though he was younger than Christ, he was much more experienced and wise compared to Christ. Whereas Christ believed that you live life once, so you have to enjoy your life to the fullest. As per him, struggle, hard work, and honesty were good only in books. He never tried to achieve these qualities. Everything was fine in their family, but one night, while having dinner, Austin had a heart attack. His family members rushed him to the hospital, but they could not save his life. His death shook not only his family, but all the villagers also. He had helped lots of people in the village. After his death, people felt as if they had lost their own family member. 1 month passed. Now, everyone was worried about who will solve the disagreement between the people. Who is as hardworking, skilled, wise, and fair as Austin. The village had a rule that if a leader of the village dies and if there is an experienced, befitting person with good leadership skill in his family, then he will be selected as the new leader of the village. And if there is no such person in that leader's family, then all villagers would select a new leader with all these qualities. All the elder people held a meeting to decide who should be their next leader. After selecting a new leader, they informed everyone in the village to gather at the specific place next week to know the result of the selection. All the people in the village were eager to know the name of their next leader. The day of the announcement came. Austin's both sons were also present at that place. The elder son, Christ, was very confident that he will be selected as the new leader as he was the elder son. All the villagers and the younger son trusted elder to make the right decision. They knew that whatever decision these elders would take will be beneficial for everyone. One of the elders stood up and announced their decision.
After discussing, everyone has anonymously reached the decision that Kevin will be our next leader, as he is very trustworthy, hardworking, and wise.
Hearing this news, everyone in the village accepted this decision happily, except Christ. He was very sad and thought that even though he was the elder son, he was not selected. Everyone returned their home. Like this, few months passed. One day, two women of that village had a disagreement. The members of their family went to Kevin's home to solve their issue. Kevin listened to both parties' argument. But when it was time to give the decision, before they finished talking, Christ started talking. So the people who had come there to solve their issue told him that he is not the leader of the villager. Kevin is the leader. This made Christ very angry, but he kept quiet in front of everyone. After a few days, Christ was going somewhere. When he saw a lady who had lost the argument the other day, she was not happy with the decision Kevin gave and despised him very much. She was a very wicked woman. When she saw Christ, she thought, now is the right time to take revenge. She made up her mind and went to Christ and started praising him. Christ, you are a very kind and naive man, but your brother has become very arrogant since he became a leader of the village. He is younger than you, but he is ruling over this village. Everyone follows his decision. Because of him, people underestimate you. I don't know what is wrong with them. They don't give a chance to Austin's elder son to prove himself. I feel very bad for you. I don't know. How do you live with him under one roof? Her words made Christ very angry, and he returned home. He couldn't stop thinking about the old lady's word. He used to agree happily with Kevin's all decisions regarding their family, but now he started insulting Kevin at every step. Everyone in the family was disappointed to see the change in Christ's behavior, but no one dared to say a word in front of him. He would fight every day. One day their mother decided to solve the issue and asked them to sit, and then she tried to make Christ understand. But this made Christ even more angry, and he decided to leave the house and work in some other village. Everyone tried to stop him, but he didn't listen to anyone. He went to one village and reached a rich man's house. He asked for a job from this rich man, who was very cunning, clever, and tight-fisted. When Christ requested him for a job, he said,
I can give you a job, but I have two simple rules which you have to follow. First one is, if I tell you to do something, you have to do it on right time. And my second rule is, you cannot get angry at me at all. If you get angry, then I'll cut your nose and took back all the money that I have paid to you. And if you made me happy by following these two rules, then I'll give you a reward.
After hearing these rules, Christ didn't waste time thinking and happily agreed to work for him. Like this, few days passed. Christ followed the rich man's rule and worked hard to earn money. One night, the rich man thought,
if he keeps working like this, he'll take all of my money.
He made a plan in his mind. Next day, he woke up early and called Christ and said,
Today you go to my fields and plow them and then sow them with seeds.
So Christ went to his field, and when he saw that rich man had huge field, he got very angry. But he remembered the rule about cutting the nose. Somehow he managed to finish the work. That was the first day. No one called him for a meal. At his home, everyone used to take care of him, especially Kevin, who would never eat his meal before Christ. But now was not the time to regret. He went to sleep without having dinner. Next day, in the morning, the rich man came to his room and started shouting,
Hey, why are you still in the bed? Do I pay you for taking the rest? I have fields in next village also. You have to sow seeds in those fields too.
Christ didn't like that rich man was shouting at him early in the morning. He was very angry, but he also remembered his rules. So he has to keep quiet. When he started to leave, the rich man called him.
Hey Christ, listen, bring some fish or meat for me while returning home.
Hearing this, Christ got very angry and said,
I haven't eaten a bite since yesterday and you want to eat meat?
Rich man was waiting for this moment so long. He cut Christ's nose and took away all the money that Christ had earned. Christ became very sad and returned to his home empty-handed. After going home, he told his brother everything. Kevin had an idea, and then he went to that rich man's house and told him,
Sir, I heard that you need a servant. I am looking for a job. Will you hire me?
Once again the rich man told him about his two rules. Kevin said to him,
I agree with all of your rules, but I also have a rule that if you got angry, then I'll cut your nose.
Proud rich man agreed to his rule. Kevin started working for him. He would do his job happily. One day, the rich man decided to bother him as he had done with Christ. He woke Kevin up early in the morning and sent him to work in the fields and asked him to bring meat while returning. Kevin agreed to it. He took the rich man's dog, Bruno, along with him. Kevin did not finish his work, and in the afternoon he went home and started resting. When the rich man saw him, he wondered, how could Kevin finish so much work so soon? So he went to his field to see how much work is done. When he saw that work is not finished, he became very angry, but he remembered Kevin's rule. At night, when the rich man sat for his dinner, he asked,
Have you brought the meat?
Kevin happily replied yes, and served him the meat. After finishing the dinner, the man took a piece of meat in his hand and started calling his dog.
Bruno! Bruno! Come on, Bruno!
Kevin smiled and replied,
Bruno is not here. Why? Where is my Bruno? He is in your stomach. Have you gone mad? You killed my favorite dog and fed him to me? Hey, are you angry with me? Of course, yes. I am very angry with you. Can't you see that you have made me angry?
When he said this, Kevin cut his nose and took the money that he had earned. Then he returned home. He told Christ about how he taught the rich man a lesson. Now Christ also understood that Being older is not enough. Smartness is also very important. This story tells us that you get excellence due to the knowledge, not due to the age.
There lived a saint in a village called Axis. He was meditating since years, and so he had achieved lot of divine powers. He could control fire, water, and wind. One day, while he was meditating, he felt dizzy because of heavy sun and he fell unconscious. There lived 3 friends in that village. Their names were Charles, Paul, and Joseph. The 3 of them were very good friends. They always lived together. One day, they all were roaming in the forest and suddenly Charles saw a saint.
Hey, Paul, Joseph, see, it seems that saint has fainted. Come, let's go and check.
Yeah, let's go.
Saying this, the 3 of them went there. They saw that saint was unconscious. Charles sat near him and massaged his hands and feet. Paul brought water from the river and Joseph fanned him with a cloth. Then Joseph put water in his mouth and sprinkled some of them on his face. After some time, the saint regained his consciousness and the saint got up and asked them,
You have helped me so much. Who are you, son?
Sir, we were passing by and saw that you were unconscious, so we helped you.
Are you feeling better, sir?
Yes, now I am feeling better. The 3 of you have helped me, so I am very happy with you. Charles, who massaged my feet, will have fire from the sun. And Paul, who put water in my mouth, will get energy from water, with the help of which he will create water wherever he wants. And the 3rd, Joseph, who fanned me with pleasant air. He will always have the energy of wind, and he will be able to create air as per his wish. I am giving the 3 of you these 3 powers, but never use these powers in the wrong way.
Hearing this, Charles, Paul, and Joseph became very happy. And they greeted the saint and went from there. While they were going, they had a question.
If these powers are really with us, we should know how to use them properly. Isn't it, friends? Yes, your idea is good. Come, let's test them.
Yes, come.
Now, Charles told his power.
Let that tree burn. Let that tree get extinguished.
At that time, there was rain on the tree and all of them keep staring at each other and they became very happy.
Let the deer fly in air.
As soon as he said that, wild deer started flying in the air. Seeing all this, all the 3 of them became very happy and returned home. The next day, when they were going in the village, they saw a thief running after stealing something. Then Joseph used his air power and pulled him. He handed him over to the police. Moving forward, they saw some men were working in the farm, but there were lots of grass because of which they couldn't work properly. They looked worried. Then Charles burnt the grass with his power and he helped those farmers. After a few days, rainy season arrived. But there was no sign of rain there. The villagers were worried. Then Paul used his power and there was rain in the village. Seeing these things, the villagers were very happy and they got back to work. This way, these 3 friends helped different people in different ways. One day, due to a cylinder burst, there was fresh fire in a house. This news spread in the entire village and these friends also came to know. Then these 3 friends started helping other people also. With the help of Joseph's power, they flew and reached that place. Charles entered into the house because fire would not do anything harm to him. They entered into the house to rescue the people trapped there, and Paul went with Charles to help him extinguish the fire in the house. Then Charles told Paul,
I am rescuing the people trapped here. You extinguish the fire in the house. This will help me rescue the people of this house. Yes, let's go fast. Yes, let's go.
Saying this, both of them entered the house. The stuff in that house was burning. Then Paul went there and poured water on them. Charles rescued all the family members out of the house and they came out.
Really, all three of you are very helpful and wonderful people. Thank you very much.
Saying this, everyone started praising them. And then the three of them leave that place and started going to their work. This news spread everywhere. And in order to honor them and their work, collector organized a function. In that function, along with high-profile people, even the common people were invited. One day the function was organized and people gathered there. Then Mr. Collector came there and honored Charles, Paul and Joseph in front of everyone.
These three gems are priceless for us. We should respect the power they have been given. They have helped our village a lot, and so we will honor them.
Mr. Collector presented them garland and shawl to honor them. And seeing all this, Charles, Paul and Joseph were flaunting on air and they start using their powers in the right manner and always saved people. This story teaches us that we should never give up and always do good work. Never think ill of anyone, cause as you sow, so shall you reap.
In a village named Stilo, there lived two farmer friends who were wealthy. They had 3 farms each. They had so many cows and cattle. They were the richest farmers of the village. Despite all the wealth, they were not happy. They desired to increase their wealth more and more. Except for these 2 farmers, there was another farmer in the village who was poor. He had only 1 farm and a cow, whom he used to love very much. Despite being poor, he was very happy and used to live his life peacefully. Every night before going to sleep, he used to thank God for whatever he has given him. The 2 rich farmers used to see that poor farmer always happy. Seeing him this happy, they used to worry about.
Brother, despite of being a poor farmer, how is he so happy?
He isn't wealthy like us. Neither he has farms and cattle like us. Despite of that, how he could be so happy?
Whenever they used to meet him, they used to make fun of him and his destitution and used to show off their opulence. But the poor farmer remains calm. But none of these used to affect him, which made them even more furious. Days passed like this. One day, both of the rich farmers decided to upset the poor farmer and visit to that poor farmer. They said,
Give us your cow, and in return we will give you 100 silver coins, which is enough for your cow.
The poor farmer denied to sell his cow as he was very affectionate about it, and he didn't want to sell his cow at any cost. His denial to sell the cow didn't go well with the rich farmers, and they thought of taking revenge.
See how arrogant he is. Don't even listen to us. Now wait and watch what we will do to you.
That night, both the rich farmers went to the poor farmer's farm and set all his crops on fire so that the poor farmer has to sell his cow for money. The next morning, when the poor farmer woke up and went to his farm, he started crying, seeing his farm in this condition.
Oh God, I haven't done wrong to anyone. Then why has someone burned all my crops? What will I do now?
He was very upset and came home all the way crying. Now he was having cash crunch and didn't had enough money to buy food for his cow. Seeing this, the farmer said,
How will she survive without food? It's better to sell her. At least somewhere someone will keep her happy. Please forgive me for this. I have no other way.
He decided to sell his cow. So he took it to another village. He also took 10 silver coins along with him. While crossing a forest on the way, he thought,
If someone attacks and takes all the silver coins from me,
that's why he hides the bag of silver coins in the cow's bell collar. After walking all day, he felt tired and thought of resting in a lodge. And he tied the cow with a pole of lodge and went inside. Suddenly, a silver coin dropped from the cow's bell collar, which the owner of the lodge noticed.
I think it's a magical cow which gives silver coins. Maybe this silver has also come from this cow.
When the poor farmer came outside the lodge after resting, the owner of the lodge asked him.
Hey mister, where are you going?
Then the poor farmer said.
I am going to another village to sell my cow.
Hearing this, the owner of the lodge became happy and he said,
You don't need to go to another village. I'll buy your cow.
The owner of the lodge gave the farmer 1,000 silver coin and asked him for his cow. The amount was much more than the cow's actual price. Thinking this as God's signal, the farmer sold his cow to the lodge owner and happily returned to his village. After returning back home, the farmer started counting the silver coins when suddenly the wealthy farmers came to visit him and were surprised to see that the poor farmer has 1,000 silver coins. So they asked the poor farmer,
From where did you get all these silver coins?
Then the poor farmer answered smiling,
I have sold my cow and got these silver coins in return.
The wealthy farmers were upset thinking that now the poor farmer will buy more cattle with these coins and will become wealthier than them. A bad deed has a bad result.